Good morning. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the concho is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you.
Namanam, 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 namanam.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us today on Dharma's Family Service, either in person or via Zoom. I am Mimi Bergstrom, and I will be serving as your MC. Assisting at the temple with technical support is the Zoom crew of Alan Matsumoto and Darren and Lynn Katayama. Corinne Chong is our organist, and Betty Takaoka will lead the singing. Please rise and let us start the service with the Vandana and Tisarana. Please chant both in Pali and English parts together with Reverend Blayne. Those of you on Zoom, be sure to have muted your mics.
Namo
Please remain remain standing for an aspiration which I will share with you. These are the words of Shinran Shonin and the hymns of the Pure Land. The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bonds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Namo Abhidhabutsu.
Namo Amidabuts, Namo Amidabuts, Namo Amidabuts, Namandabuts, 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 Namandabuts.
Please be seated. It is now time for the offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense if you wish, starting with the front rows and moving towards the back. Let us observe a moment of silent meditation.
Namandam, 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 namandam.
Reverend Blayne will now lead us in chanting of the sutra, verses reaffirming the vows. Words can be found on page 117 in the Jodo Shinshu service book and on your screen. Again, page 117.
The Buddha of infinite light and life made vows to embrace all beings equally without exception. These vows promise to create a perfect world where no suffering or evil exists and guides us to supreme awakening. The Jusei-ge, or verses reaffirming the vows, is a poetic summary of the basic intention of the 48 vows made by Amida Buddha to attain supreme enlightenment, to save all who are suffering, and to declare universal liberation through the name, Namo Amida Butsu. We chant the words of the Buddha as a reminder of these great vows of compassion made to liberate and to awaken all beings. The verses reaffirming the vows. I have made unrivaled vows and will reach the highest path if I fail in any way. May I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering? May I not attain Buddhahood. I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice the noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddha Namanda, 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 namanda.
Please rise for the singing of the Gatha at our altar. Words are on pages 16 and 17 in the Praises of the Buddha Gatha book. Again, pages 16 and 17.
Each morning I awake to see Higa's face, so good and kind. I think he says, "Good morning, child." He's glad to start the day with me. Each night before I go to bed, I sit before our altar bright with pretty flowers, candlelight, and incense curling round my head. I bow my head, I clasp my hands, and thank the Lord with all my might for teachings that will bring truth's light to many folks in many lands.
You may be seated. Reverend Blayne will now share the Dharma message.
Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Good morning, everybody. So as we begin this new year, it's important to remember, right, the significance of beginnings. The turning of the year is a mental and spiritual reset for our lives, and this is an opportunity to discern what we will leave behind and what lessons we will bring with us into this new year. Beginnings are significant because we come to realize that the way we begin serves as a foundation for our journey ahead. Shinran Shonin, the founder of this school, begins in the Shoshinge, or the Hymn of True and Trusting, the following lines. Kimmyo Mudoju Nyorai. I take refuge in the Tathagata of immeasurable life. Namo Fukashigiko. I entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable light. It is both an acknowledgement of his deep and profound trust in the dynamic working of wisdom and compassion in his life, and a sincere and heartfelt urging for us to do the same by responding to the calling voice of wisdom and compassion. These two lines are the foundation for our lives on this path of Nembutsu, and reminds us of how this dual acts of taking refuge in and entrusting in Amida is in itself a perpetual new beginning, of how when we say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, we are reflecting on and acknowledging the working of a power beyond the self. It is the continual surrendering of our ego and our rededication to following the path of the Buddha. Namo, to entrust or to give up to Amida Butsu, a power beyond the self. Nembutsu is a life-transforming path of reflecting on, meditating on, of remembering the life and the virtues of the Buddha, and the ultimate potential for enlightenment within each of us. According to Reverend Kenru Suji, the Nembutsu is the complete identification of myself with the transcendent power of wisdom and compassion from which I derive my meaning for existence. The Nembutsu is the center of my being, the spiritual home from which I operate and where I find the spiritual power to carry out all of my moral, social, and religious commitments. It is this verbalization of my inner awakening to the reality of life and the world. It is the sound of the infinite touching the finite. Our voicing of Namo Amida Butsu is a returning home to our true selves, which is the infinite light and life that is Amida Buddha. This is why when we chant the Jusege, or the verses reaffirming the vows like we did this morning, it reminds us of Amida's vowing to become a Buddha, vowing to create the Pure Land of enlightenment, vowing to liberate all who are suffering in this world of samsara, vowing to give us the name, Namo Amida Butsu, as our simple practice of living with profound joy and awareness. The true nature of awakening that the Buddha teaches is one of continual learning and growth and discovery. Every moment is an opportunity for discovering ourselves and for better understanding the fullness of life in all of its joys and sorrows. And we are becoming more fully human through all that we experience, from the simple to the extraordinary moments of our lives. We are being shown who we are and how we can be. This is Amida's calling voice, which is the sound of the universe calling us home to ourselves. What a profound gift it is to awaken to this realization that we are living our lives together with the infinite, that we are embraced and affirmed in our full humanness, all of our imperfections, our idiosyncrasies, right? Everything that makes us who we are is embraced and affirmed by the infinite, by the universe, of how our lives are truly limitless and boundless because of this working of wisdom and compassion. In the verse from the Hymns of the Pure Land, one of Shinran Shoning's poems, Shinran shares his deep appreciation for this inconceivable light, this gift of Amida's light. The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bonds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. How remarkable that on the Nembutsu path, we don't have to wait for a new year to begin again. Each moment with Namo Amida Butsu is a precious new beginning. What an amazing way to journey through this impermanent and unrepeatable life. This is why the late Reverend Dr. Taitetsu Uno affirmed that Shin Buddhism, this path, is a path of supreme optimism, where no experience is ever wasted. The good, the bad, the ugly of our lives, everything that we experience is an opportunity to learn and to grow and to deepen our understanding of ourself and the world around us. This is why in Buddhism, this is a path of discovering the priceless jewel within us, which is boundless life itself. This miracle of living this present moment. This is why Dr. Nobuo Haneda says, Mahayana Buddhism teaches us that all human beings could and should become Buddhas. When we are told to realize Buddhahood, many of us think that we must create Buddhahood or a new world for ourselves, but That, I believe, is a misunderstanding of Buddhism. Becoming a Buddha means becoming awakened to life or to the truth of impermanence, which already exists. The story of Amida's creation of the land of limitless life 10 kalpas ago means that we do not have to create a new reality or world. The perfect world already exists, and we have to only be born into it and to realize it in every moment of our lives. The Buddha's path offers us a world of endless potential and possibilities along our brief journey of human life. The following story by children's author Kobe Yamada beautifully illustrates the endless potential in all of us. And so, this book, Maybe, by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by Gabriela Baruch. So, have you ever wondered why you are here? You are the only you there ever has been or ever will be. You have so much to offer. Maybe you will invent something that no one has ever seen before. Maybe you will build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try. See as much as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget it is on journeys that discoveries are made. Maybe you will help others to see the beauty in each day. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds onto their feet. Do everything with love. Follow your heart and see where it leads you. Maybe you are here to shine a light into places that have been dark for far too long. Maybe you will speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Maybe you're here to help in ways that only you can. There will be struggles, there will be fears, and it won't always be easy. At times, it will feel really hard, and you might make a mess of things. You may fall down. You may fail. But you will always get back up, and you will rise a little stronger and a little taller, because there really is more inside you than you know. And this world needs your gifts, your talents, your big ideas, and maybe you're just getting started. What if you are only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? What if you have talents you haven't discovered yet? There is something powerful, even magical, about you. You already have everything it takes to do big things. Maybe you have no idea just how good you really can be. And maybe you don't know how much you matter. But maybe, just maybe, the world has been waiting centuries for someone exactly like you. One thing is for sure, you are here. And because you're here, anything is possible. So may you live your potential of maybe each and every day of this remarkable journey of life that we are all on. This is the path of joyful awakening that the Buddha offers us. And like the story shares, life won't always be easy, right? That life won't always go the way we want it to, right? But there is always tomorrow. There is always a new day, right? That the truth of impermanence means that we are never stuck in our lives. That no matter where we are, no matter what we're feeling, that will change too, right? That is the reality, right, of our lives, that all things change, all things are impermanent, right? So while we can enjoy the joyful parts of our lives, right, and we need to realize that those joys are also fleeting, but times of sorrow that we experience or times of sadness will also pass and be transformed, right? And that's the hope, that's the promise of a new day, right? That the Dharma teaches us and enables us to see the potential and the possibilities of our lives in each and every moment. And so let's journey together with a realistic optimism, a realistic hope for life in its fullness, life in its joys and struggles as fellow travelers. So please join me in Gassho to recite the Nembutsu together. Entrusting the dynamic working of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call Amida's honored name in gratitude, joy, and awareness. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu. Mahalo, everybody.
Thank you for your message, Reverend Blayne. That book is very beautiful. That sometimes is a book, a children's book that shows it's also for adults. John Sui will now lead us in unison reading the Eightfold Path to Happiness. Words can be found on the handouts and on your screen. Please join him in reading the words aloud.
The Eightfold Path to Happiness. The teachings of Buddha help us to understand the oneness of all life. To lead us in the right direction, the Buddha provided us with the Eightfold Path. Right views, to keep free of prejudice and superstition, and to see the true nature of life. Right thoughts, to turn our minds away from violence and hatred. Right speech, to refrain from harmful talk and to use our words wisely. Right conduct, to see our deeds come from peace and goodwill, to grow every day in the Buddha's teachings. Right livelihood, to try to earn our living in such a way that we avoid causing suffering. Right energy, to use our energies to promote the overcoming of ignorance and destructive desires. Right mindfulness, to cherish a good mind, for all that we think and do has its roots in the mind. Right meditation, to study the teachings of the Buddha and to practice them to the best of our abilities. May the presence of the Buddha, who said that we would live in his teachings, be our guide. May we follow this path until we too realize nirvana.
We will now have the offertory presentation. Mahalo everyone for your generosity, which helps us sustain the temple. Please stand as we conclude this service with the singing of the Gatha Dambutsu.
Namandab, 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 namandab.
You may be seated. This concludes today's service, and here are some announcements. Upcoming schedule of services and events. Ho'onko's candlelight service will be this Saturday, January 13th at 7 p.m. For many of us, it's our favorite service, so please join us and let's light up the temple with an abundance of candlelights. Guest speaker will be Reverend Blayne Nakasone Sakata, Associate Minister at the Honpa Hongonji Hawaii Betsuin. Remember, the service will be on Saturday at 7 p.m., not Sunday morning, okay? There will be no service on Sunday, January 14th. Sunday, January 21st, regular Dharma family service will be held at 10 a.m. Minister's assistant and recently ordained Tokudo Linda Nagai will officiate and share a Dharma message. Sunday, January 28th, we will observe the 38th annual Ellison Onizuka and Space Shuttle Challenger Memorial Service at 10 a.m. Heads up for a fun event in February. The 2024 Gatha Fest will be held on Sunday, February 25th at the Hilo Betsuin at 9 a.m. It's an annual sharing of Gathas by most temples on the Big Island, which was put on hold during COVID. Konohonganji Sangha will participate, and we will soon begin practicing during our temple services. Our unique song has lyrics written by our one and only songwriter, Darren Katayama, and will be accompanied by anyone wishing to play the ukulele. For those of you needing transportation, we will try our best to get a van, so please let us know as soon as possible because space is limited. Reminders. Please be sure to open and read and click on any attachments and interesting as well as useful links that were included in Reverend Blayne's weekly update, the email he sent out this past Friday. Information can be found on Reverend Blayne's new Buddhist book club, Shin Buddhism 101 course, chanting services and monthly meditation. Also, more information on this year's Honpa Hongonji mission of Hawaii's triple celebration can also be found. For those of you who have ordered and not yet picked up your 2024 Honpa Hongonji mission of Hawaii calendar, please stop by at the church office to pick it up. Extras are available if you would like one. The 2024 BDK A Wise Teaching Day calendars are also available. There's no charge for either of them. Also, we have free COVID test kits in the conference room. Are there any other announcements, Reverend Blayne or anyone?
If you did order a calendar for this year, I do have them in the back, so come see me after. You can pick yours up if you had ordered one, or if you'd just like to see one and like to take one, come see me as well. So.
Those of you on Zoom, when you are ready to leave, just tap or click on the Leave Meeting button. Those of you who are here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Mira Kunihiro and Janet Lindner and anyone else who brought goodies to share. Your attendance today is most sincerely appreciated. Please stay healthy, safe, and happy, and share many Nembutsu moments together throughout 2024.